Hi everyone, I'm Ashley, and today I'm sharing the story of how an old railroad building became home to my flock of backyard chickens. It all started 11 years ago when my husband told me he had found an old train depot for sale for $500, but that it had to be moved within a week. When he first told me about it, my reaction was instantly yes, because I had been dreaming about a little shed for an art studio, and since we live right above the train station here in Bryson City, I thought it would be fitting to restore a little railroad building. The grandfather of the man selling the building worked for the railroad, and years ago he had moved the depot onto their property to use it as a hunting cabin. So this little structure had already lived more than one life, and now it was about to start another one, but there was just one small problem. It was much bigger than we expected. The building is about 15 feet by 12 feet, which meant that there was absolutely no way we were moving it with a trailer. So I had to call in a professional. I found a house mover, and this little depot had to travel 45 miles down a major highway to get to us, which turned out to be way more complicated than I thought. Bridge heights had to be checked, power lines had to be considered, but it did arrive safe. And so did all the contents inside, which was another part of the deal. We had to remove the building and take all the contents inside with us as well. It was a fun process to sort through all the contents, imagining what life they had before in this railroad building turned hunting cabin. Originally, I thought the depot would become an art studio, but I ended up with my art space in our larger basement instead, which meant that this building could become something else entirely. I was planning a garden at the time, and the most logical use of the depot was a gardening shed, where we could store all of our tools and start seedlings. In order to do this, we first had to level the land next to the building into a large flat area, and we did this all by hand with no heavy equipment. This was right around the time that we adopted our dog Max as well, and he was so little here. We were so lucky to find him, and I can't believe he's almost now 13 years old. The next step in our project was to build a picket fence around the garden area, and we also built raised cedar garden beds. We also painted the picket fence white, and Brett built 3 matching gates for the garden and used the excess fencing we had to build a composting area nearby. The last step for the garden before actual planting was started was to fill the entire area with pea gravel from a local quarry. The garden slowly started turning into a really beautiful little backyard space, and the depot brought so much character to our property. One of my side projects that winter was painting old railroad-inspired signs to decorate the sides of the depot as a nod to its history. That winter, I also read a memoir called Once Upon a Flock, and I decided that our little country life was missing something: chickens. I purchased a bunch of baby chicks, and they were so cute to raise in our laundry room, but I knew that we needed to figure out their permanent home sooner rather than later. The gardening shed was so big that we decided that instead of buying or building an entire chicken coop, we could just divide the building in half and serve 2 purposes. First, we started prepping the depot by adding a new reclaimed door and windows for light and ventilation. My husband Brett drew a basic diagram for the wall, and he built it in place with a raised threshold to help keep future wood shavings inside the coop. He also added a human-sized door so the coop could easily be cleaned and tended to. Then he added a 3-bay nesting box to the side of the coop so the eggs can be easily accessed from the gardening side of the shed. My job was to add a little bar under the boxes to help the chickens hop in and out. I also painted the entire inside of the coop white, painted the floor with a thick garage floor paint, and installed 2x4 roosting bars and ramps. I used large metal trays from the automotive store under the roost to help make the coop easier to clean. Once the coop interior was finished, we started to focus on the outside of the shed. We painted the entire exterior and started to build a large attached chicken run so that the chickens could come and go safely from there without having to worry about predators. I also ordered a huge roll of metal hardware cloth and covered the entire exterior of the run, including the doors. A very exciting moment of the project was cutting the door that would lead from the coop to the chicken run outside, and my daughter Sienna made a ramp for them to go in and out. The most memorable moment of the project, though, was moving our teenager chicks into their new coop. We even gave them a mini roosting bar to start out on, and they loved it, of course. Eventually, we finished the gardening part of the shed too, with a potting bench and other cute details. The best part has been the easy access to the nesting boxes and that the nesting boxes stay warm in the winter. I also love that the 2 exterior windows and 1 interior window can be opened for a nice summer breeze. Everything about this cute little coop and the gardening shed has worked out great, and today we still have 5 chickens. 2 are from our original flock and are over 10 years old. They have a pretty pampered life in their old depot. We've had chickens for over a decade now, but our most beloved chicken was a Polish hen named Foshizzle. She had a little heart-shaped marking on her head when she was a baby chick, and it grew out into a beautiful plume of feathers. She had so much personality, and she was also really photogenic because she had such a serious demeanor. Because of her big feather plume, she also couldn't see very well and was always getting lost in the yard, and we'd have to go and find her. She was such a quirky chicken because she loved being held, she loved sitting on our shoulders, and loved riding around on my daughter's bike handlebars. Foshizzle loved being around people, but what was really funny is how much she loved being around our small dogs. For about a year, we had a senior rescue named Happy, and Foshizzle and Happy were together all the time. We miss both of them every day. This project was absolutely worth all the time and effort, and I love that this building carries a little piece of train history with it. Now it's time for some serious spring cleaning in the coop, and thanks so much for watching, and if you have chickens, let me know in the comments. I'd love to know. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.